50-554-6030 for your copies.
Hello, welcome to Encore, and thank you very much for making the time to be with us. I appreciate the fact that you've made an investment of time, you're making an investment of the cost of data to be with us. I welcome everyone anywhere in the world that you are, because I am aware that it is not only Ghanaians in Ghana who are watching it, but we're getting people watching us from all over. And I acknowledge all of you, and I appreciate all that. Can you please take a moment to invite a friend and to ask them to like the page? And this is on Facebook Live, but it would also be on other platforms, on YouTube and on Periscope. So you have the freedom to join us. Now, my name is, or they call me Uncle Ebo White. I am the CEO of Roverman Productions. But more importantly, I am committed to helping you become your best self. So we do this every Friday at 12:30 GMT. And we bring you discussion on all things love, marriage, and sex. Last month, July, happened to be my birthday and my birth month, and also the month in which I celebrate my anniversary. And to commemorate my 34th wedding anniversary, I spent a month opening my marriage to you. I shared with you my own struggles, my own journey in marriage with you. I hope you enjoyed it. But this month, we're going to a different theme, and I'm looking at common sense marriage. Common sense marriage. And for every week, I'll look at something that is very common sense, something that is not strange. So I'm not going to share with you any new things, any amazing things. I'm just going to help us to look at the things we already know with new eyes. Because you see, there are three ways of learning, or there are three ways in which you can learn. You can learn by being exposed to something you don't know, coming into contact with new information. You can also learn by unlearning what you know. But the third is also very important. You can learn by looking at what you know with fresh eyes. Looking at what you know, almost as if this is the first time you are hearing it. And so that is what we're going to do. And for today, we are looking at a simple, very common sense fact about marriage. You married a fellow human being. I'm sure you are. Please don't shut your mind off. No, so of course I know I married a fellow human being. What else would I marry but a fellow human being? Well, hang on. You may be surprised at the implication of being married to a fellow human being. So, can we get on right looking at the implications of marrying somebody, of the fact that you are married to a fellow human being, somebody who is just like you? Like I said, please don't shut your mind off. You are in for an exciting ride, and we'll go through them. I have 7 points to give you. We'll go over the points as soon as we come back from this little break that my bosses are asking for. So, please stay with us.
Thought-provoking, motivational, inspirational, attitude, values, faith, soul-inspiring content, value for money. New Look, the magazine that reports on our values, attitudes, and faith for discerning people. Rover Report Monthly Magazine. Get your copies from all Shell shops, Total shops, and the supermarket near you. Or call 0302-231188 for subscription.
Hello, thank you very much for staying with us, and thank you for joining us. Again, this is something we do every Friday at 12:30 GMT. Oh, I have an announcement for those of you who are watching in Ghana. This quarter, that's my third quarter. You know, every quarter I produce a play at the National Theatre. And this quarter, we are releasing Early Bird. The Early Bird go with a huge discount. At the gate, you would buy, the regular ticket is 80, but the Early Bird goes for 60. And they are available between now and 19th of August. So we call them Early Birds. Go to our usual outlets and get yourself a ticket to our quarter 3 show. It will be for the first weekend of the quarter 3, September 2nd and September 3rd at the National Theatre. So why don't you join? Now we are looking at the implications of being married to a fellow human being. What does it mean that I am married to a fellow human being? One, no one is perfect. No matter our backgrounds, no matter our upbringing, the bottom line is this: none of us is perfect. Of course, there are people who are too flawed to accept the fact that they are not perfect, which in essence rests the case. You don't need to argue with them. But they are not even as big a threat as those who accept that, yes, I know I am flawed, I know I am not perfect, but demand perfection of the other party they are dealing with. So we will readily accept that, okay, I have faults, I have my shortcomings, but then my partner should not have faults, my partner should not have shortcomings. The fact is that none of us is perfect, and that fact is supposed to make us patient with others and more accepting of others. I should be able to cope with your shortcomings because I know that I have shortcomings you are also coping with. That should make me much more generous. I should be gentle in criticizing you for anything because I know that you also have things you could criticize me about, because none of us is perfect. In marriage, however, we often operate as if we are either not aware that we married a fellow human being who is not perfect, or we reject the fact that our spouses are only human. We make the mistake of insisting on perfection of our spouses. The results are frustration and a loss of connection. Of course, there are things that my spouse would do that would offend, irritate, or even disgust me. But if I know that I also may be doing things or saying things that would irritate, annoy, and disgust my spouse, then I should be more patient, more gentle, more generous, more kind in pointing out that my spouse's faults to her. 2, human beings love to be appreciated. Human beings love to be appreciated. Let me ask you a question, especially those of you who drive. How do you feel when you are driving in a heavy traffic and you find a driver stranded trying to get into the flow of traffic and you stop? Nobody is stopping for him. You stop and allow him to cut in front of you. How do you feel when that driver then acknowledges your kindness? Doesn't it make you feel warm or inside all of a sudden? But on the other hand, how do you feel when you give him the chance, he comes in, and he just ignores you? He just does not acknowledge it. I'm sure you hate that, and you regret giving him the chance to go. That is just human nature. Now, this is the reason why sometimes we see that some people have changed after marriage. Because you see, if what they do does not come, that is not appreciated, the chances are that they are not going to do any more of that. They will do less of it. For instance, if I give you a lift every morning, you are my spouse, but I give you a lift every morning to your office, and I come and pick you in the evening back home. Mind you, we don't work near each other, so I drive through traffic to do this. And I don't feel appreciated for that. This is what will happen. Typical human being is not. I'll begin to look for excuses to stop doing it. I'll come up with excuses why I can't do it anymore, and sooner or later, I will stop doing it. It doesn't mean that I have changed. It is just that I haven't felt appreciated, and I'm being human. When a human being doesn't feel appreciated, he doesn't do more, he does less. So, if you do not know how to express and show gratitude and appreciation, you undermine your relationship more than you will ever know. Because there will be things you'll be struggling with in your relationship that is born from the fact that your partner is not feeling appreciated. You're not expressing it. And it doesn't have to be just words. And sometimes there are people who can say thank you, but it doesn't communicate thank you. It's just I'm saying thank you because I have to say thank you. But when you get down, when I lift you to the office and you say thank you and you get down, you bang the door and you walk away with your body language that is cold, I won't feel the thank you. Say the thank you with a smile and mean it. And then next time, whether it is raining cats and dogs, I will still come and pick you. 3, the reaction of a human being depends on how you approach him or her. The reaction of a human being depends on how you approach him or her. Let me give you this scenario. A man comes home late. His wife, who has been very worried because she wasn't expecting him to be late, greets him at the door with, "Oh, my dear, I am so glad you are home. I'm sure you are tired. Relax and let me get you something." This is a man who is coming late. How do you think the man will respond to his wife with this approach? The man would definitely be a fool not to respond sweetly and happily. But same scenario. Man comes home late, wife has been worried, she greets him with anger. "Where have you been?" I say, "Where have you been? Today you tell me where you have been, or you have to kill me. I was warned about you. I was warned about you. I was told that you have cheating in your blood." It will take very special grace for this man to respond nicely. Fact is, the human being takes his cue from how he is approached. So how I react depends on how you approach me. Smile at a human being, and the chances are that he will smile back. Frown at a human being, and he would also frown back. So it is not enough that your partner has said or done something that is wrong. How you express your displeasure determines whether harmony will be restored or destroyed. 4, human beings avoid whatever brings them pain. Human beings avoid whatever brings them pain. Most human beings, almost all of us, are driven by a desire to avoid pain. We are programmed to avoid pain or anything that will give us pain. So if the relationship becomes painful for me, I'll begin to look for ways of avoiding the pain. There are people who dread going home at the end of the day because what happens when they get home is painful for them. There are spouses who have stopped chatting with their partners because they find the reactions and the responses of their partner to what they have to say painful and sometimes degrading. You should always evaluate your relationship and ask yourself, am I causing pain or am I bringing joy? 5, words have deep impact on human beings. Words have deep impact on human beings. Words do not cost anything, and yet their impact could be transgenerational. Cut me with a machete, and the wound will heal. Cut me with words, and that wound stays forever. With words, you can make a human being laugh. With the same words, you can make him cry. With words, you can lift a human being to heights undreamt of. With the same words, you can plunge a human being into despair. With words, I can make you love me. With the same words, I can make you hate me. With words, you can make me feel good about myself. And with the same words, you can make me despise myself. Words are powerful. But like anything that is powerful, we have to be careful how we use them. Unfortunately, many of us use words carelessly. More marriages have been destroyed by words than by any other thing. And more marriages have been strengthened by words than by money, gifts, and sex combined. With the right words, you can avert the worst disaster in your marriage. And with the wrong words, you can turn even the best of moments into calamity. Why? Because human words have deep impact on human beings. Here's the good news. The most powerful tool at your disposal to create and sustain a great relationship is in your mouth. It is your words. No, I wasn't talking about your teeth and your tongue. Your words. And here's the bad news. The most dangerous tool against creating and sustaining a wonderful marriage is also in your mouth. It is your words. Words create reality for human beings. So, what reality are you creating in your relationship with your words? 6, we are driven by emotions, not by logic. We are driven by emotions, not by logic. In marketing, we learn that the decision to buy is an emotional one, not a logical one. But it is not only in marketing that this holds true. In fact, this is true in marketing because it is true of life, because the human being is driven by emotions and not by logic. A friend vowed that he would never marry a dark-colored girl. And he had very logical reasons for that. He was dark himself, and everyone in his family was also dark. And he wanted to have fair children. So he declared that he would never marry, that he would marry only a fair girl. And he had a good choice of eager, beautiful, fair girls to choose from. And yet the girl he married was darker than himself. A real black beauty. You know, he had logic for what he said. Emotion came in, and logic had to take the back seat. Another friend of mine attempted to walk away from a relationship when he discovered that the lady he had come to love had a child. He swore he would never marry. He had already sworn before he met this lady that he would never marry a lady who has a child. Well, you guessed it. He is married to that lady and is taking care of that child and loving it. We are driven by our emotions. This is the reason why someone can stay in a relationship everybody knows he should move away from, but he stays in there. So logic dictates that move out. Emotions overrule, and she's staying in there, and will continue staying until the day emotions come and says, look, move out. Well, how does this work in marriage? Always appeal to the emotions of your spouse if you really want results. You want us to cut down on our expenditure in our marriage? Don't come with facts and figures. It won't make much of a difference. Come with something that would appeal to my emotions, and you are likely to get a result. 7, time changes all human beings, all of us. I don't know about you, but when I go into the house of an elderly person, I love to look at their pictures. I love to look at the pictures of their youth or younger days and to compare those with the pictures of their now, of their mature years. And I have never ceased to be amazed at the difference between the younger model and the older model. Now, the fact is that this happens because we are human beings. Time affects all of us. Unfortunately, we tend to forget this when we marry. The beauty with the great shape that you married and with the outstanding breasts that you love so much will not always have them. The young man who had the beautiful hair that you admired and loved to run your hands through, well, one day you'll run your hands through and you'll touch skin because he's become bald. That is human nature. So it is sad when somebody walks away from his partner because time has had effect on that partner, and then he goes out looking for a younger, fresher model. It is unfair and it is unfortunate. We should understand that once we are relating to a human being, time will change that person. Time will change me too. Just as you will want your partner to accept you and accept what time does to you, you too accept your partner and what time does to him or her. Well, those have been 7 implications from the very common sense fact that you married a fellow human being. I hope it's been useful to you. I hope they've been helpful to you. Now I'm ready to take your questions and your interactions, and then we'll see where we go. Do we go straight into questions, or we take a little break before? All right, so we'll take a little break and we'll be back.
Honey, I have laid the bed. Baby, Amadi, tomorrow I have a meeting. I have a business meeting tomorrow.
Sir? Oh, sweetheart. Here, take this.
Get the best-selling novels, The Deal, and Perfect Couple by Uncle White at 40 Ghana cedis each. Available at all Shell shops, selected bookshops, and total filling stations. For inquiries, call 050-554-6010 or WhatsApp 050-554-6030 for your copies.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us, and welcome back. We're waiting for your questions now. Let's see how we can advance this discussion and take it forward. So, any question?
All right, sir. So we have people reporting from various places as usual, and we have Sandra Florence White says, "Uncle, I'm waiting for you in Pram Pram."
Wait. What are you doing in Pram Pram? What are you doing? Bishop, what are you doing in Pram Pram? Declare.
Okay, so Jacob asks, Uncle, for this to work, both parties have to be on the same page as far as recognizing the humanity in the other, right?
Perfect. Yes, that is true, and that's the whole thing. That the whole point. And in a relationship, things get difficult when only one party is learning, when only one party is making the necessary adjustments. It ought to be both parties. I have a picture in my mind. I say that it is always a wonderful relationship when the couple compete with each other to outdo each other in showing love, to outdo each other in showing understanding, to outdo each other in kindness and generosity. So, yes, you are right. I appreciate that.
Uncle, do actions still speak louder than words?
They do only when the words are not there. Then I have to work with your actions. But no, words are always powerful. Words are powerful. I know that saying that we say, actions, but then for words to be effective, they must be backed by your actions, isn't it? Your actions must be informed by your actions so that we would understand where you stand. But don't underestimate words. Look, for every one of you listening to me, I am sure you still remember what someone told you when you were 4 years old, especially if it was bitter, if it was painful, if it was an insult. You remember insults that were thrown at you when you were in primary school. Words don't go away. So would you also remember kind words that were said to you right from your childhood? Let us not underestimate the value of words. And the interesting thing is that words are free. So why don't we major in creating a wonderful world with our words? Why do we normally tend to use it to create this pain for ourselves and for our partners? We must understand we have the power. With my words, I can create reality. With my words, I can change reality. Let's use it for good. Let's use it to create the right kind of reality.
Uncle from Abigail, please, how do you deal or handle a husband who always thinks you are cheating on him, even when you go to work? He wants you home 24/7.
Is he rich? Can he, if you stayed home, can he pay you a regular salary that is equal to what you can earn? Then in that case, negotiate and stay home for him. No. Abigail, I suspect you're a beautiful lady. This is the headache of all men who are married to beautiful women. They have nightmares whenever the woman leaves home, because they know every man will want to have them. Unfortunately, depending on their own sense of security, then they assume that because they know every man would want to have their wife, then it means that every man is having them. No, it is not always the case. The wonderful thing is that a woman in love loves only one man. We haven't learned to talk about what a man in love would do. So I hope your husband will get around to respecting your space, respecting your integrity. But there's another thing. Abigail, please build confidence building measures. So you get to the office, call him. Let him know what you are doing. Store his number in a way that would prompt you to pick his call every time. Every other call can go, but his call, because as soon as he calls you and you don't pick, his imagination is going to go wild. And affirm to him often how much he means to you and how much you love him. But Abigail, men married to beautiful women don't sleep very soundly. They are always scared.
Uncle, why does my husband shiver whenever I ask him, where are you?
In the first place, I'm not too sure he shivers, because you wouldn't have seen him shivering if you knew where he was or if you could see him. So I suspect that your question is, why is he uncomfortable when I ask him where he is? There may be a variety of reasons. I am hesitating because I don't want to give a simple answer that may not do justice. For instance, there are people you relate to, and when they ask you a question in a certain manner, you don't feel like it is a question. You feel you're on trial. And you feel that no matter what answer you give, you're going to be sentenced anyway. You're going to be found guilty. So in that case, you are scared, because wherever you answer it is going to be, you're going to be in trouble. It doesn't have to be that way. I hope your husband will be much more open and be able to say exactly where he is. Unless where he is not where he should be. In which case, it doesn't have to be you. He himself, he should shiver because of what that is doing to him. Because it is not healthy, it will not help him. Forget about the relationship. He himself is in a dangerous place if he's where he cannot admit to his wife that I am here.
Uncle from Joel, compete in showing love, Wow, what a competition. Who will win? Do you think that will lead to faking love just to score points?
No, as soon as fake comes in, then the competition is over. It's like taking drugs in any competition. So faking it is the drugs in this. Let it be sincere, and it becomes a fun relationship.
Uncle, is it advisable to give up your passion all because your husband says so?
All right. No. Don't give up your passion. But don't also insist that I'm going to do it whether you care, whether you like it or not. Negotiate. Discuss. Bottom line, you need your passion. You need your passion to even become the best wife you can be. Because a fulfilled wife is a good wife. So, I must do it. I can't give up my passion, because once you give up your passion, something in you dies. But you can't also be obstinate about it. You can't just say that whether you like it or not, I'm going to do it. No. See whether you can bring him along gradually. Patience, love, akrokro, and then let him buy into it. And then you will find that he'll be very, very supportive. Quite often, people object to their partners following their passion. One, because they feel they are being left behind. So let your partner know, look, I really see you as part of this. You are my partner in this, so that they don't feel the threat that I may be losing you.
From Mavis, Uncle, is it possible to try and change a behavior of a spouse that does not benefit the marriage?
Mavis, after marriage, you lose the right to change your partner. You will discover that, if you haven't learned that already, you will discover that through hard experience. The time to change somebody is before he becomes your partner. Then the motivation for him to change is there. After marriage, your partner is the only one who can decide, I am changing this. You can't change him. It will bring too much wahala, too much fight, too much palaver. So, if you are not happy with something, communicate, express it. Again, watch the words you use. Watch how you approach him. The time when he comes from work tired and hungry is not the time to say, my dear, we need to sit down and talk. No. He's home. Let him feel relaxed. There will be time. Then approach him and then let's have a discussion. Then he will decide that, you know what, from today on, I'm going to do things differently. I'm going to turn a new leaf so that I can please my wife. And that is how it works. And when it happens that way, the results are always pleasing.
Please, if you're in a relationship with a guy who has hit you before and even insults you when there's an issue, but now he has assured you and promised that he won't repeat it, he won't repeat that behavior again, and hasn't for some time, do you still continue with this relationship?
Why do I get the impression that you've already answered the question? Because you say, and hasn't for some time. It means you're already continuing the relationship. So what you're asking me is for affirmation. All right, listen. Somebody who gets physically abusive, somebody who can't control his temper will continue, and with time may get worse. I am also a believer in the fact that when a human being really wants it, he can change himself. He can resolve to change. So if he says he's not going to do it again, I will give him the benefit of the doubt, but I will not end there. Because there's something that is making him do that. So let him look for somebody to hold himself accountable. Then you know he's serious. In other words, he should be able to go to somebody, a pastor, a deacon in the church, a family member, somebody in your family, and say, I have this problem. I am working on it. I want to hold myself accountable to you, so that my wife can come to you and say, he lost his temper last night. or he attempted to hit me last night. And when you call me, I will take your call and take your rebuke. If your partner is prepared to do that, and only if he's prepared to do that, should you risk it. Otherwise, abusive people get worse because they are victims. Every abusive person is a victim. A victim struggling with his own pain and doesn't know where to go. So let him get the help. And one of the ways to get the help is for him to go to somebody and let the person help him deal with it. If he does that, and if he's willing to go for help and to do what he's asked to do, hey, then why not? You see, it looks like you love that bugger boy. So let him go for help and let's see.
Uncle, this is from our YouTube channel. Uncle, is it right to compete against each other or to complement each other?
Don't compete in terms of career. Don't compete in terms of money. Don't compete in terms of who loves the children more or who do the children love the most. Those are useless competitions in a marriage. Compete in showing each other love. So let's see which of us makes the other person feel more comfortable, more excited in the relationship. That kind of competition I endorse and I advocate for that. So your birthday, you surprised me. All right, me too. On your birthday, you see what I will do to you and for you. That's the kind of competition I am talking about. When you weren't well, when I wasn't well, you did this for me. You nursed me back to health. You wait till you also fall ill, and you will see how I'll nurse you too. That kind of competition is wonderful.
Uncle, do we have to hold on to the words spoken in the moment to use against each other later?
The fact that as human beings, we will never forget the words that are spoken to us. We never do. Even when we say we're forgiven, they are there. Forgive and forget is fantasy. I may forgive you. Forget, no. Now, should we store the words that are spoken to us in the moment and use against the party? It doesn't help either. It doesn't help. So, if the person used words out of anger, take it in the context in which it was given and do the necessary work of processing it and saying that, I think I know him better than this. He was angry for the moment. This one, let me put it there. But I hope the partner will come back and also give you additional words that would neutralize the effect of these.
Again from our YouTube channel. Uncle, this is Justina. Hi. Do we have to marry someone whose purpose is similar to ours, or does it matter if our jobs are very different?
I think either way would work. Marrying, having the same passions, having the same career, having the same vision would work because it could make for a partnership. But marrying someone who also has a completely different vision from yours can also enrich your marriage and your experiences. So either of them is wonderful, and you could make a great relationship and a great marriage out of either. So let's not split hairs over this.
From Akwesi, how do you deal and handle a wife that has trust issues and even takes your praises for granted?
Takes your praises for granted. Oh, okay. Trust issues. Well, continue the path of just affirming her. It's insecurity. Whenever somebody doesn't trust you, that person is screaming out in pain. Maybe she's been hurt before. Maybe she doesn't feel worthy of love. It's amazing that when some people don't think that they deserve us, they then think that we also know we don't. They don't deserve us, and so one day we'll leave them. Well, what to do in circumstances like that is keep giving the affirmation and the assurance, and as you do that, and they get more comfortable in your love, you realize that the incidence of distrust will go away. And whilst you are at it, Again, confidence building measures. So confidence building measures. You know, don't go and take your bath with your phone. Don't receive a call and walk away from her. Because when you do, her mind is going to say, what call is he receiving that he can't take here? Don't be talking on the phone too long when you get home with another party. Don't do that. And don't delete messages and the calls that comes through. Because, you know, yes, wives love to pick our phones and check, especially when they're uncomfortable. And sometimes we think we are clever. So you get a call at 8 from the contraband. And then you know my wife will scroll my phone and find out. So you walk away, take the call, then when you finish, you delete it. Your wife has noted the time the call came. So she picks your phone and is looking for a call that came at 8, and there's none on your phone. You think you've been clever? Don't underestimate the cleverness of a woman. So, please, it's about transparency. That woman that you're spending time with and deleting the messages is not your wife. If you prefer it to your wife, please take steps to end this one and go. But don't do this, because if you're getting stroke, that woman won't come. It's this one that you are not paying attention to who will be there to nurse you. So, for your own sake, let your wife love you and trust you, so that when you need her, she will come through for you without bitterness. Without bitterness.
From George.
Uncle, it is true we avoid whatever brings us pain. How then do we learn? How do we face our pains and overcome them?
George, that's a difficult one. Time heals us. Even the resolve, your own resolve that, you know, I don't like the way I feel about this. I want to move on. I want to put this behind me, may help you. But it works better when the other party who caused the pain wakes up to the pain he has caused and helps you through by trying to do things that would minimize the effect of the pain he has caused you. But yes, human beings would avoid pain. We all do. That's the way we are programmed.
Sorry. George. George says, Uncle, it's true, but sometimes I just take my phone to the loo because I'm playing a game.
George, eat better food so you don't get constipated. If you're in the loo playing games, you are constipated. Eat better food and leave your phone behind. You know, there was a research that was done on phones, and they discovered that a lot of phones had fecal matter on them because of things like that. So, George, I mean, stay healthy. Leave your phone behind. When you come out, you can play the game. But as for this, your game, George, stop it.
Let's talk.
Our words, but why do men fear? Let's talk. Our words, but why do men fear?
We fear because let's talk often translates to you useless man. I have things against you. Sit down and let me tell you how useless you are. That is how it translates to a lot of men. That is how it comes across when some women do it. And also sometimes the timing is so wrong. So he doesn't want to hear it. So choose the timing carefully. Carefully. If he's your husband, don't attack him in the evening. He's tired. Wake him up at dawn. Oh, by dawn I don't mean 2 o'clock. 4:30. Wake him, my dear. Can we talk? The tone you use is important. My dear, can we talk? No, Kwesi, we need to talk. Wake up, let's talk. No, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. And then make sure that whatever we are talking is talking. It's not you haranguing. It's not you nagging. We are talking. So you say something, stop. Let me give my feedback. When I give my feedback, take it in good faith. Not say, no, I don't believe you. Then why are we talking? Then go with your suspicions.
Uncle. Adi says, why are all the questions and advice geared towards marriage? Advise single adults, divorcees, people who do not want to get married. Lack of such diversity in advice is sad.
Why don't you ask your question? Because this platform is open to all. So if you are not married and you have a question, but the issues we're talking about today, what I've talked about today, it doesn't matter whether you are married or not. For instance, no one is perfect. You deal with human beings, don't you? In your office, even among your siblings, don't you? Words have impact. So yes, I am talking in the context of marriage, but the principles I'm giving and the tools I'm giving are not valid only in marriage. And anyone who has decided, don't want to marry, and I applaud you if you have decided not to marry, you can use these tools in your career, in everywhere you go. Because bottom line, we live in a society, we live in a community of human beings. So these tools are not just to be taken in the context of marriage only. But for this platform, the context is on love, relationship, marriage, and sex.
Uncle from Hakeem.
My wife and I sent money to Africa to her mother to purchase land for us. And after buying the land, she only put her daughter's name in all the documents. What advice do you have for me? It pains me a lot.
Wow.
Up till now, I don't.
Hakeem, you can ask them to change the documents. Let them do it, and let them do it now. Tell them the name is wrong. They should effect the change, and they should effect it now. And you're right. I think it's painful. Let them do it now. Do it. Otherwise, whenever you guys come back to Ghana, go and do it. Take the documents and say, these are documents for our land, but the name should be so and so and so and so. And let's get it done.
From
Ellie, Uncle, please kindly highlight on love is a decision and a feeling in reference to chemistry.
Ellie, congratulations on your graduation. And on your EMBA. They have told me I should always add the E. I am so proud of you. Yes, love is a decision and it is also a feeling. It is not one or the other. There must be something that makes me think about this person I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. That's love. But having made that commitment, the decision is that I'm going to make this thing work. That is what I mean by love is a decision and a feeling.
All right. Daniel Kokoko says, Uncle, does time change us only physically? How about emotionally, spiritually, etc.?
Hey, Dan, how are you? And how's the family? Long time no see. You wait. You asking difficult questions. Wait. Kofi Wayo will get you. I was with Dan when we met Kofi Wayo, and the comments Kofi Wayo made about his tie was very, very interesting. So, yes, but Dan, you are right. Time changes us not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually as well. And time can also enrich us as sexual human beings, because quite often we get better with time in sex. Young people don't believe that.
Uncle, please.
Am I being fair to my partner when I measure her loyalty to me based on how much faith she has in me?
No, you are not being. How do you measure loyalty to you? How do you measure that? If you've come up with an invention to measure that, patent it so you can make money. Don't use it to worry your wife at home only. Put it out there. I think that it helps in a relationship if we focus on being the spouse we need to be and not waste emotional energy and emotional capital on whether our spouse is the kind of spouse she needs to be or he needs to be. Me, am I the spouse I need to be? It's like driving. If you focus on what the car coming is doing, you may run into a ditch. Diulemo, focus on your lane. Make sure you are doing the right thing, and everybody will get home safely.
Uncle, can a man love two women at the same time?
Yes, but he shouldn't. Because it reduces him. It makes him less of a man when he does so. It's like asking, can a man drive his car into a ditch? Yes, he can. Should he? No. Can a man grab the food that belongs to another person? Yes. Should he? No. So can you love two women? A man can. Women will get confused about this. But yes, I'm a man, I know. But he shouldn't. And that is what makes you the man you need to be, a man of honor. Because you decide, this is my commitment, and I will be true to my commitment.
Well, Uncle, Michael Clotty has suggested answers for her. She says, Princess, in fact, more than 2. Check how many the wise king Solomon had.
Michael Clotty, we need more hurry.
From Emmanuel.
Uncle, what advice do you have for a guy who constantly advises and forgives his girlfriend after cheating on him with a married man? And what she says is she doesn't want to hurt him, so she is finding it difficult to tell him it's over. She always feels sorry when being caught, but after a few weeks, some mistakes happen.
Leave the girl alone. Move on. This girl will continue to hurt you. Will continue to hurt you. What is she trying to say? Walk away from this if you can. If you can't, then keep quiet and suffer. But I would really advise, if it is possible, walk away, because there is a deeper need for this girl that she hasn't even attended to. She needs a kind of help. You can't be there to help. And if you stay on, her cheating will one day give you stroke. It will give you stroke. Today, you can handle the fact that she's cheating. Tomorrow, as we grow older, our capacity to deal and handle with these issues diminish. A lot of men who have stroke is because of some of these things. So don't join us. So right now, you have a decision to make, and I would recommend that let her understand. She either stops this nonsense of I don't want to hurt him, or you walk away from her and let her stay there, not hurting the married man.
Uncle, please, can you help me understand? You are a good man. Let's be friends. I can't date you.
They have done it to you too, eh? Oh, they did it to all of us, though.
Please, he's right here.
I see you as my brother. I see you as a brother. I think of you only as a brother. Oh, you. So, dear, it's unfortunate. You've gotten yourself into the friend zone. And getting out of that zone is very difficult. Very, very difficult. She's just saying that I don't love you. I don't want to date you. She doesn't want to say it plainly for you to be heard. So she's being nice about it. So take the verdict and move on. And don't shut your mind. Develop a relationship with somebody else and move on.
Uncle, back on our YouTube channel. Hi, Uncle. How does one deal with a partner who turns careless about the feelings of the other after marriage? No time, no appreciation, and worst of all, not ready to learn about new things.
Yeah, those people are very difficult to live with. They are extremely difficult to live with. They are a pain to live with. But it's about learning. We should all learn that the same attention I paid to court you, I must understand that I must exhibit that same attention in sustaining this relationship. And every couple must find ways of creating and establishing that connection they had before they married.
Uncle, good afternoon. Uncle, even though she's doing her best to make the relationship work between us, I keep getting bad vibes about this male colleague of hers who whose actions towards her, from my point of view as a man, indicates that he loves her and thinks because he lets her do things like cooking for him, he owns her emotionally. But she proves that wrong by usually assuring me with her actions.
Wait. Don't go too fast. Your wife or girlfriend cooks for him. Is this a wife, husband, or girlfriend, boyfriend? Your girlfriend cooks for a male colleague. And she says what? Oh, have a chat with her. That is not on. That is so not on. That is not on. What is, or is your girlfriend a commercial caterer?
Okay, so a little bit of extra information.
Okay.
So his relationship with his girlfriend is a long distance one. And the girlfriend is close to a work colleague. And she, you know.
Oh. My brother, I'll pray for you. I don't like the look of it. I really don't like the look of it. But I mean, also not be fair to you and to her if I commented further. I'm sorry.
Uncle,
From Mommy, if your partner lacks love talks when in a long distance relationship, especially when you want to talk about serious issues, which he or she doesn't want to talk about, what do you do?
When your partner does what?
When your partner lacks love talks when in a long distance relationship,
What is love talks?
maybe a good conversation, a hearty conversation.
Oh, now it's called good conversation.
Enjoyable one, no.
Yeah, go on. So what's the question?
especially when you want to talk about serious issues, which he or she almost always doesn't want to.
Wait. You want love talk, but we're also talking about serious issues
Yes.
in the context of love talks.
Because it's a long distance relationship,
Yes.
they hardly have a good, conversation. And also when it comes to serious issues, the person is not willing to talk about it.
Oh dear. Double jeopardy. Okay, let him know your feelings. Let him know what you want. And then let's hope that he rises up to it.
Uncle, is it advisable for couples to be checking their phones, and to what end?
Oh.
Checking each other's phones. To what end?
No, it is not. But the point is that you can't stop it. It will happen. So the point is, what do you have to hide on your phone? The only person who should have an issue with a spouse checking the phone is the National Security Advisor and National Security Coordinator. If you are not that person, when you come home from work, give your phone to her or give your phone to him and let them scroll and check to their heart's content. Because if you don't have anything to hide, hey, why are you uncomfortable? Why are you nervous? What was the question? A lady put it in a certain way. The men do it. They quiver. Yeah, shiver. Why are you shivering?
Uncle from Kristen.
Uncle, I am courting now. I want to know if it is wise to invest in purchasing a land and getting into business with him. Please advise.
You are not married to him. Don't do anything in partnership. Don't do anything in partnership. Listen, the incidence of people, even girls, moving their things into the boy's room or buying things and storing it with a boy because in anticipation of marriage, and then something happens and it becomes difficult and awkward going for those things aside. If you have money to invest in your own right and in your own name. Invest in your own right and in your own name. At any rate, to push it further, I am not a fan of joint accounts. It doesn't always work well. So you have money to invest, go ahead, invest in your own name, in your own right.
Uncle, is it good from Eunice? Is it good to marry a man who feels he is God's gift to women? Every woman wants him. He is handsome, 6 feet, intelligent, tall, slim. He doesn't see it as arrogance, but calls it self-awareness. He is very quick-tempered and says he can only be with a Proverbs 31 woman.
Oh, Jesus. My God. Hallelujah.
Brand new.
Proverbs 31.
Young lady, every girl will envy you because of him, but you will not enjoy this relationship. You won't. The way he's going, yes, he sees himself as God's gift to every woman. The point is that men like that, they don't go chasing. They are chased. So every one of your female friends will think, oh, you're doing well, oh, you have a wonderful woman. But I don't have him fully. Yeah, it's difficult. And people like that, it's difficult to walk away from. Especially, how's his chest like? Does he have this saying? Yeah, my goodness. So, it's going to be difficult, but hey, how you for do?
From Joy, how can couples sustain appreciation
for little things done for the other when you have become too familiar with each other?
That is what takes joy out of a long established relationship, and I think that you've got to find ways of doing it. So, for instance, a note to each other every now and then. Express your gratitude to your partner, to her hearing, but you are talking to somebody else. It will help. Look for ways, because it could become a bother.
Please, is it advisable to live with your mother-in-law in the same house, or because she says you and your husband are not ready to live elsewhere?
It's not your mother-in-law's decision. It's your decision to decide whether you are ready to move or not.
From Perry,
should a man be jealous when the wife gives all the attention to the baby?
Yes, we are. It will get so. It becomes difficult. Always becomes difficult. Yeah. My child. And Nakorano. No, it's difficult. And many men cope with it in different ways. But yes, it's often difficult for us. Don't forget that children at a certain point are our competitors. What we like, they also like. So children at a certain age, when they are babies, they don't respect. So it becomes very difficult. Well, let's take just about the question and then let's end it.
Jennifer says, where does a married man's loyalty lie? With his wife or his siblings? There's a situation where the lady was right, but her husband's sister was wrong. But the husband still went along with the sister and insulted her wife to the sister. This has made the lady not trust him.
Marriage is between a man and a woman. Please, your loyalty is to each other. And be careful what kind of third parties you bring in. And your siblings must respect your space. In all likelihood, your husband couldn't have gone to your sister-in-law's marriage and play the same role. Why is he allowing his sister to play that role in your marriage? It's not fair, and it's not right at all. Well, I'd like to thank you for staying with us today and for making the investment of time and data to be with us. Remember, our Q3 play early bird tickets out there. You get it for 60 instead of 80. Check out all the outlets that you know. Joy FM, Bachona, Total, Airport Shell, and all the usual places, and you get tickets. Now, next week we'll continue with another aspect of common sense marriage. So the broad theme will be common sense marriage, but we'll bring you a different aspect of it altogether. For now, thank you very much. May you stay blessed. May God keep and sustain you. And in the coming week, may laughter never depart from you. May your love relationship be sweet. May there be healing where there needs to be one. May there be restoration where there needs to be one. And those who are waiting on God for a partner, may God overwhelm you with a person he sends your way. Thank you very much for being with us. Goodbye.